Yo, yo, everybody, welcome back to the motherfucking Minority Sports Report Wrestling Edition. Woo! I'm your motherfucking boy, Dick Black.
I'm your boy, Game Dollar.
Alright, chillin', dog. Make sure y'all like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the bell icon as well. I'm gonna pour up some Pepsi Nitro, because this shit is the fucking
promo
truth
again.
to me. Another promo. Are you ready for this one? If you're New Bedford, go to the Poor Farm Tavern. It's a really cool place.
Nice.
Oh shit, I'm spilling things everywhere.
Spillage.
I suck.
Alright, you already gave your review last week, so we can just jump right in, I guess.
That was vanilla last week, sir.
Oh,
No,
alright. Which one's this?
I'm just kidding. This is just regular, but I'm just talking shit. We can definitely jump in. Give me 1 second. Drop the can. Well, we in there, baby.
There we go. So Dynamite kicked off with a match between CM Punk and Dustin Rhodes, two veterans in a dream match. You got the fucking full mustache. That was funny, like a little boy. But yeah, it was an old school wrestling match. They did that old school ring psychology shit where focus on a limb, which I think Dustin actually hurt himself on an awkward spill to the outside, and they just continued to sell the knee injury.
That's what I was wondering. I didn't see
It looked
anything.
because it looked like when he because you remember, like he kind of like rolled under the bottom rope or like through the bottom and middle rope and fell out to the outside.
Yeah, he hit hard.
I think he landed on his knee, and I think that's what it was. So I think they just continued to sell that throughout the match. And
because he hit hard, like he didn't even catch himself.
And he instantly grabbed his knee too. And then the ref went to the outside to check on him, which they never really do. They usually like count him out from the inside of the ring. But so they focus on Dustin's knee, and then Dustin focused on CM Punk's arm after he I think he like fell on the ring post or something with his arm. But Dustin had a few chances in this one. He tried to reverse the go to sleep for a pin, like a rolling pin. But Punk ended up, instead of rolling through and letting Dustin pin him, he just kind of sat on his chest and got the old pin there. But it
looks like I fucking pissed on myself. Sorry. This is awful.
Should show the camera. But yeah. So they both shook hands after the match.
I'm not pulling my dick out. I'm just kidding.
But yeah,
too low.
After Punk got the win, he was walking back up the ramp. Hangman came out, and they kind of like faced off as he was leaving, setting up that next title match.
I realized watching that whole little thing transpire, I'm not a Hangman fan. Like, he's a good wrestler, but like he's kind of whack as a champ to me.
I got no hate against him. He's had some entertaining matches as champ.
That's true. I take that back. I guess not everybody can be Kenny Omega.
True.
I gotta set my
hopefully
bar
we'll see him coming back soon.
really low. Yes, sir.
I don't know when he's supposed to be back.
No.
But yeah, so they had a little segment backstage where they showed Wardlow has to be handcuffed and escorted around backstage before his match. Then we had a good match between the Blackpool Combat Club, Regal squad of Danielson, Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta. They took on the trio of Brock Anderson, Lee Moriarty, and Dante Martin.
Arn's kids.
Yeah,
it's like Ronald McDonald House. Arn's kids, donate to Arn's kids today.
Well, yeah, his legitimate son, then his black adopted son, and then his mixed second marriage son.
Love it. Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think we brought this up when we were watching that. I wrote down loved Regal on commentary. I don't remember if we talked about that or if I just wrote that down.
No, we did. Not for a whole long time, but we just were both like, Regal in the booth is the shit, dog.
Yeah.
Like, yep.
So the Combat Club jumped the other three, like right as the match started. It was a good showing from the young dudes, but obviously Combat Club was going to go over in this one. To kind of end it, they beat the shit out of Anderson, Moriarty, and Martin. Like at the same time, I think Moxley and Yuta will land in the elbows while Danielson was doing the face stomps.
Yep.
And then Moxley hit Yuta with the huge, no, not Yuta, hit Martin with the huge paradigm shift, fucking sent him flipping over in the air and shit. And that's how they picked up the win in that one.
Fucking Dante Martin selling the shit out of shit.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't just make it a squash match where they beat the shit out of them, but they let them get some shine in.
Yeah, it was
Dante
definitely
Martin was doing his high flying flippy shit. It was just good to see. Lee Moriarty got some shine because they were in his hometown. They were in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think he was either from Pittsburgh or Philly or something like that. They were giving him love. Yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah,
Brock's definitely getting better. Brock
he
Anderson.
is. You can see it every time he's out there on Dynamite, at least. Because I don't watch the YouTube channels.
Same. Next, we had Tony Khan's big announcement, which he invited the president and CEO of New Japan Pro Wrestling out. What's his name? Takami Obari. He invited him out to make the announcement, but they ended up getting interrupted by Adam Cole. And Adam Cole announced that AEW and New Japan are going to do a joint pay-per-view called Forbidden Door on June 26th. So we're going to get those dream AEW New Japan matchups.
Snap! I can't wait, dog.
It's going to be dope.
It's going to be so dope.
To kind of kick things off, Adam Cole said he was taking on Tomohiro Ishii, one of New Japan stars, for the Owen Hart Foundation qualifier on this week's Rampage that we're going to talk about. And then he said that he had a friend that wanted to come out and say hello. And then Switchblade Jay White, the leader of the Bullet Club, came out, cut a nice little promo. So it's going to be interesting to see. Are we going to finally get that Bullet Club crossover that has been teased for the longest time?
Pretty much since the inception of AEW.
Yeah. I'm very interested because I love like Switchblade, Tomohiro Ishii. Like the short period of time that I watched New Japan, those are two of the dudes that I kind of gravitated to watching that shit, along with El Phantasmo and a few others. But those are the couple of my favorites. So yeah, it's gonna be dope.
I forgot where I read this, but the owner of New Japan, when he got back to Japan, he said he was waiting in the train station to go home, and a little girl fell in between the station platform and a train, and like he helped pull her out and shit with her mom. And he's just like, he said like something like he takes being tall for granted and shit like that, but he's like, I actually got to save someone's life the day I got back home from America. I was like, holy shit, crazy. That's fucking wild, yo. So shout out, that's a real nigga. He's a real dude.
Nice.
Taking a train and he's saving babies. Wow. Wow.
Good shit.
Yep, it was pretty cool.
So that's what Takami Obari.
Yeah, Takami Obari. Yeah. Oh, he put it on Twitter. It's on Twitter. So if you're interested,
that's crazy. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
But moving on, we had Wardlow taking on the Butcher, where the Butcher was the next hired gun for MJF. MJF and Sean Spears were hiding up in a private box up at the top of the arena.
I forgot.
They made Wardlow come out to no music, and he was still handcuffed when he walked out on stage.
Yeah, that shit was crazy weird, man.
Yeah,
so weird.
But it was it's kind of a short match, but it was a hard hitting match between two big dudes. But Wardlow was able to get the win after 4 straight power bombs on the Butcher.
Yeah.
Demolished him, and then after he gets the win, he has to get handcuffed and escorted out. But he did it all with smiles because obviously he's getting one up on MJF, who was throwing a tantrum in the private box.
Yeah, he was. I love that fucking. He's so good. MJF.
Yeah, great heel.
Like, how are you putting somebody over and you're not even technically wrestling them right now?
You're just standing in a box.
That shit is crazy as fuck, man. Like, that is fucking talent. And I don't think many people think about it like that, but that's what's happening. It's fucking awesome. Fucking awesome, man.
I've seen some pictures on Instagram of him with his cat, but he still has like the MJF I'm a dickhead face, but he's like his cat's all lovey-dovey with him. It's mad funny.
The contrast.
So yeah. Moving on to the next match, we had another Owen Hart Foundation men's qualifier. We had Kyle O'Reilly taking on Jungle Boy. This was another good one. I think they said this was Kyle O'Reilly's first singles match since he joined.
I think they did say that too.
Seemed a little weird, but I guess that does make sense when I think about it.
Because he's always been coming out as a tag team.
Yeah, because Bobby Fish came and was doing single shit until Kyle O'Reilly came, and then they've basically been a tag ever since.
Yeah.
But yeah, good match for both guys. A few things like Kyle O'Reilly countered a springboard arm drag takedown that Jungle Boy usually does.
Yeah,
O'Reilly countered that shit into an arm bar, which is pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
Then he did that weird triple DDT suplex type thing. It was a weird move. It wasn't a DDT, and it wasn't necessarily a suplex. It's kind of like in between. But he did it 3 times in a row, which was interesting.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
He kind of had both arms tucked with the head underneath. Yeah, it was a little odd.
Yeah, so it was nice 3 times. It all, it came back.
Yeah,
that shit was crazy. I didn't know he was that nice.
Yeah, Jungle Boy had a nice springboard DDT into like a standing guillotine. That ended up, obviously not getting the win for him because Kyle O'Reilly got the win by hitting a brain buster and then took a jumping knee off the top rope to Jungle Boy's back. And that's how he was able to pick up the win in that match. So he moves on to the actual Owen Hart Foundation tournament. And then weirdly, they caught Jungle Boy outside the ring apologizing to Christian Cage, saying that he was sorry for losing as they kind of went to commercial. Then next up, we had a quick little segment where MJF was paying off Jake the Snake and Lance Archer to be the next hired gun to take out Wardlow. So we got that coming up.
Garbage.
Good to see Jake the Snake back.
Yes, I was going to say that. As soon as I was like, oh shit, Jake's back, I felt good. And then I was like, still sweating like a motherfucker.
Yeah, it was funny. He was cutting his normal Jake promo, and then Lance Archer interrupted him. It was pretty funny.
What I think he still does is he probably still sprays his hair, like he's got hair down to his shoulders. You know how they do that shit? And they come out and their hair's all,
yeah.
Like you ain't got no hair.
Like you've been sitting in a sauna for 4 hours. But good to see Jake back. Nice and healthy.
Absolutely.
Sweaty as shit, but whatever. Or wet, whatever it is. Soggy. Let's just say soggy.
He's moist, because I know people hate that word.
Next, we had
so moist.
We had Hook taking on an already in the ring Anthony Henry. But yeah, this was all Hook.
His Dynamite debut.
Yeah, Dynamite debut, which another thing that seemed odd, but yeah, he's basically been on Rampage the entire time he's been active.
Mm-hmm.
He's made appearances on Dynamite, but he wasn't actually wrestling. But he had Henry kind of like standing over him, raining in forearm shots, I think it was, on him.
Yeah.
And then Danhausen appeared out of nowhere and tried to curse Hook again, but it didn't work. So Hook just locked in the Red Rum, which is basically his version of the Taz mission, his dad's move. And that's how he was able to pick up the submission win. Then after the match, Danhausen picked up the mic, got in the ring and said he had enough of Hook. Said that if Hook doesn't want to be cursed by Danhausen, then he's going to have to fight Danhausen. Got a huge pop from the crowd. But Obviously, Hook didn't say shit. He just shrugged his way or like shoulder checked his way past Danhausen and ended that little segment.
Do you think they're going to be a tag team?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
That's what I was thinking after that whole fighting thing, because I don't know. We'll see what happens after the actual match, but I was just like, their dynamic gets such a huge reaction from everyone.
Yeah.
So it would only kind of make sense to make them a tag team. I mean,
the odd comedy of Danhausen with the seriousness of
exactly.
That
like,
be fun. Yeah,
that shit just plays really well.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even think of that. But yeah, I'll be interested to see because obviously we haven't seen Danhausen wrestle yet. So if this match does happen, it's going to be good to see. I mean, I've seen a couple things on YouTube, but nothing in AEW yet.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had another Sammy Guevara, Ty Conti versus Men of the Year, Dan Lambert segment, which I'm not really going to cover. Other than we are getting apparently a mixed tag match. So Sammy and Ty versus Paige Van Zant and somebody from that squad, I'm assuming. And then we're getting a ladder match between Sammy and Scorpio Sky for the TNT Championship, I believe, this coming week.
Yeah, bro.
So that's going to be dope.
That shit's going to be tight as fuck. Can't wait for that.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be awesome. We had another Owen Hart Foundation qualifier this time for the women. We had Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, taking on Danielle Camella, who apparently is one of those WWE NXT releases.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to look it up. I didn't know who she was. But
I didn't know that.
The Doctor came out with Steelers. Were they recent draft picks? Was it this year or last year's draft or some shit?
I don't even know.
I don't even know, but Najee Harris and Pat Freiermuth, I don't know, however you say that, they came out with Britt because they were in Pittsburgh, and that's Britt's hometown. They had the terrible towels in the crowd and shit. But which Danielle Camella ended up using to choke Britt with the towel. But Britt was able to eventually get that curb stomp that she likes to use, and then got a Steelers glove from one of those two dudes.
That's
and
right.
Used that to lock in the lockjaw submission that she does, the mandible claw, whatever you want to call it. So
the womandible claw.
Britt moves on, and then she ended up cutting a nice little heel promo since this was her first match back after a little layoff. So she's kind of setting herself up in that division, talking all the shit against everybody she needs to talk shit about.
She should have waited like 30 more seconds and like milked it, because she was out of breath so hard, yo. That shit was, I was like, yeah, you've been out of action for a little while.
They were probably rushing it too.
Of course they were, because you can't. That shit ended exactly on time.
Yeah. But so that led into the main event, which is the coffin match between Darby Allin and Andrade El Idolo. Obviously, with the AFO, the Andrade family office, there's going to be some interference, which started mad early. The Blade and Mark Quinn got in there early, started triple teaming Darby Allin into the crowd.
I forgot about this part until right now.
And as they're fighting in the crowd, there's a dude standing a little too close with a Sting mask, and Mark Quinn steals the sign, rips it up, starts like talking shit to the camera, and this dude with the Sting mask takes off the mask, and it's Sting with the Sting mask, which is mad funny. And then he takes out Mark Quinn, and the Blade starts fighting them off. They end up working to a balcony where Sting dives off another fucking balcony. Nothing too high crazy, but he's still a 60-year-old man jumping off of a balcony.
63 to be exact, and I'm not jumping off that fucking balcony.
Yeah, word.
I'm half his age. Like, fuck that shit.
But Sting's still doing this thing out there. Gotta love it.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, man.
Darby tried to go for a coffin drop from the top to the outside, and Andrade caught him mid-air and then German suplexed the shit out of him to the mat on the outside.
That was fucking great.
They worked their way up the ramp, and Darby got suplexed onto the pyro, like metal grate that covers the pyro section. Never seen that before. That was weird.
I remember saying like, I think I was like, "Yo, that shit had no give," and you were like, "He bounced like 3 times off that shit."
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's brutal, man. Fuck.
It was rough.
Yeah.
But to end the match, oh, I forgot to mention it happened a little earlier in the match, but Andrade had Darby in the coffin. He was trying to close it, and they revealed that the door to the coffin had thumbtacks.
Oh
on
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So Darby had to like use his arm on the thumbtacks to prevent it from being closed. But that ended up working out a little bit later on because Darby ended up tope suicida on Andrade that knocked him into the coffin. And then as he was trying to close the door, Jose, the assistant, came out to try to stop him. And he ended up getting slammed on those thumbtacks.
He had
and
a shirt
then
off.
Darby he took his shirt off and then got slammed on the thumbtacks. And then Darby was able to close the coffin on Andrade to get the win right on time.
Yeah,
for the main event,
right on time
to go off the air. But yeah, another great Dynamite. Great main event. Gotta love a coffin match.
Gots to Darby's 2-0 in those now. I think that's the second one, right?
Mm-hmm. Second one, I think.
Yeah. I didn't watch Rampage. I think I'm pretty sure I was at the movie theaters. I went like 3 or 4 times this week. It was insane.
Yeah, I watched. I ended up watching it. Not the entire thing. I ended up having to watch it the next day, finish it off because I fell asleep. Because instead of watching it at my computer or on the front of the TV like I normally do, I lay down in my bed, which is a bad idea.
Nigga was out.
Yeah, Rampage kicked off with the Owen Hart Foundation men's qualifier that we had mentioned earlier on Dynamite. Adam Cole taking on New Japan's Tomohiro Ishii. I like Tomohiro Ishii because he's one of those like just brawlic dudes, just likes the hard hitting type dude.
Hard hitting old school.
Do the chops.
Ass.
Yeah. I like his style, and it was a good match. At one point, he clotheslined the shit out of the ring post, which I don't know how. I don't know how he does that shit because that shit hurts. You could hear it ding when he hit it. Like he didn't just fucking play it off. He really hit that shit. Adam Cole was able to reverse a brain buster, and he ended up doing some weird kind of neck breaker where he got Ishii up in a suplex position, but then let go of him so that he fell neck first on Adam Cole's knee, which is dope neck breaker I never really seen before.
Yeah, watch that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But obviously with Adam Cole, you're going to get some interference, but it came from a different person. It came from the Switchblade, Jay White. He came out of nowhere and took out Rocky Romero, who was at ringside with Tomohiro Ishii because they're part of that Chaos faction in New Japan with Orange Cassidy and shit. So they Orange Cassidy and Rocky Romero were at ringside. So when Jay White took out Romero, that distracted the ref and Ishii. So Adam Cole was able to hit him with a low blow and then hit him with that boom knee and was able to get the win over Ishii and move on to that tournament. And it kind of worked out because doesn't make Ishii look bad because he got cheated out of the win. So it's not going to hurt his image going back to New Japan. So it was a nice way to make everybody get a win out of that. Then you get to work in Jay White, which is another call to that Bullet Club because I believe Adam Cole was a member of the Bullet Club back in the day. So, moving on, we had the Danhausen Hook segment on Rampage where I think it was Hook was getting interviewed and they stumble across, I forgot how, but they stumble across Danhausen who's smashing a bag of chips. Just like crushing chips on the floor, talking shit about Hook. And then Hook finally like grabs him up, yokes him up against the wall. And it was like, you wanted my attention? You got it. And then walks off. So setting up that Danhausen Hook match that they kind of teased on Dynamite. And we finally get to hear Hook speak I think this may be the second time he's actually said words on the show.
Yeah, shit. Maybe even the first.
Maybe the first.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Holy shit.
But yeah, so that led into the quickest Lance Archer match you'd ever seen against Serpentico. It was so fast. Like Sean Spears was on commentary. He barely got to talk shit. Lance Archer just fucked him up so bad. And basically just said, like, obviously the sending the warning to Wardlow, like, this is what I'm going to do to you. But Serpentico is like 10 times smaller than Wardlow.
Right. He looked like a high school soccer player.
Yeah, but like one of the things that stood out in the very beginning of the match, Serpentico tried to tope suicida on Lance Archer, but he just bounced right off of him. But he didn't realize that it didn't do nothing. So he started celebrating, and Lance Archer just standing there like, yo, what the fuck?
Oh, shit, dog. That's great.
It was bad funny. So that short match led into the Eddie Kingston, Daniel Garcia grudge match. This was a hard-hitting match. They traded chops like Eddie likes to do. Few hard chops. Daniel Garcia did this weird thing where Eddie Kingston was laying down in the corner. So he grabs the top ropes and just starts like stomping on Eddie Kingston as fast as he can. It was mad funny. But Eddie Kingston was able to get the win. Oh, and through this entire match, both squads, so Santana and Ortiz and the Jericho Appreciation Society, were all banned from ringside. I think they were banned from the arena completely. So there was no interference in this one. But Kingston was able to get the win with that spinning back fist that he likes to use.
Oh, Eddie.
Yep, got his revenge on Garcia. And after the match, he was gonna fuck up Daniel Garcia with a belt. He was gonna whip him. And then he stopped himself and took the mic. He's like, I'm saving this whipping for you, Chris. And then told Garcia, like, this is a message, send it to your boss. So yeah.
Tight.
So Eddie Kingston, Chris Jericho coming soon. And then the main event for Rampage, your girl, the TBS Women's Champion, defending her belt against Marina Shafir, which they were billing as like her toughest opponent, yet, because she got that judo, jiu-jitsu background. She's like an MMA girl.
But it's wrestling.
Yeah, it's wrestling. But yeah, Jade basically used her power over Shafir's like skill and experience. She powered out of a lot of moves. Like at one point, Marina Shafir had her in like a guillotine where she was like had her legs wrapped around Jade, and Jade was just standing up, holding her weight, and she ended up powering out of that and not suplexing her, but like power slamming her out of it, which is pretty dope.
Oh yeah.
But obviously Mark Sterling and the baddies. Mark Sterling distracted the ref, and the baddies, Red Velvet, Kiera Hogan, beat on Marina Shafir at ringside. Jade
girls.
She chokeslammed Shafir through the timekeeper table. Tried to. She could more like bounced her off the table and it fell over. It might have cracked, but it didn't break. But Jade was able to power her way out of a knee bar and then hit the jaded finisher that she likes to use, which is basically that front face drop, powerbomb,
like a powerbomb
style. Yeah, for the win. And she is now 30-0. And she had fake dollar bills dropped from the sky after she won.
Word to your mother.
That's fucking tight.
Gotta love Orange Cassidy.
Gotta love Orange Cassidy. Yeah, you're almost out of time. We thank you for fucking with us. We are the motherfucking Minority Sports Report, RASSLIN Edition. Woo! You can follow us all collectively at TMS Report. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you hit the bell icon as well. Skame, where can they follow you, bro?
Follow me at Skame666.
And you can follow me. I am at the Beatnik. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week for the holes in them balls.
Balls.